Alabas Zoroark, that deck that sort of we heard rumblings about, but haven't really seen in full force until today. And I think this is maybe, what, the third time we've had it on stream?
Yeah, it's popped up a lot, and it's seen a lot of success, especially if it's able to get on in the 8th round here. I know, especially when you come to a match like this, it can be very important if you're playing those cards like Professor Kukui. It doesn't look like I see that, so that could make knocking out Gardevoirs pretty difficult.
Yeah, definitely, with Bulu capping out at then 210 with a choice band,
yeah.
And having to discard all energy as well.
Maybe he's just going to have to focus on those Zoroarks. We'll have to see. Looking at the prize cam for Malik, and not terrible. He's going to definitely be able to work with that. Over on the other side for Nico, he's just going to 2 double colorless. That's
a bit sketchy.
It's not good.
It's not terrible, though. You could be seeing 4 DCE, so that's at least there's some resources he can work with there. But yeah, both these players at 502, I think a win will almost just cement them in a really good position in top 32 at the end of today. Yeah. One thing we do see is the Mew coming down from Malik there is sort of a new tech that's been put into Vikabulu, recognizing that Guzma is a card that's played a lot and it needs a free retreater to be able to switch into, given that it typically doesn't play Floatstone.
Yeah, it's a new tech and an old tech. We saw it in the very first renditions when this deck it didn't really know what it was going to do. It had Tapu Koko promo, it had Mew in there, it had all sorts of different free retreaters, just trying to focus on taking advantage of Guzma. We do see Mew coming back now because being Psychic is pretty good right now.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a card called Buzzwole, and it can be awkward to knock out.
Yeah, I think we've heard of it. But yeah, we're going to see this Gardevoir Zoroark deck here, probably looking for a turn 1 into a Bridget maybe to get as many Pokemon as he can into play, but looks like that's a pass. Just with a Zorua and a Routes down. So this really opens the door for Malik to get down a Bridget, get down a couple of Grubbins, a Tapu Bulu if he can, get an energy on board, and really do what Vikabulu does best.
Yeah, this opening turn for the Vikabulu player is always so interesting. Do you want to show that you have everything? Because it looks like he's got a lot of great stuff. How much of this do you want to play down? Because you don't want your opponent to just immediately end you out of all the goods.
I mean, something that's very interesting is that Malik, to his credit, Nico, to his credit, was actually able to get down that Parallel City. And that is a pretty big hindrance. I mean, what are you going to put down now as the Vikabulu player? Are you putting down 1 Grubbin? Are you putting down a Bulu? And then when that Grubbin's knocked out, you're not going to have access to that strong charge.
Yeah, I think you almost just play down 2 Grubbins and just
swing with Tapu Lele.
Yeah, you got to find something. And it can be awkward if you lose your only Grubbin here. Say Nico was able to find the double colorless energy, Zoroark, and just really get a big push. You can't win if you don't have Vikabulu, the Vikavolt down.
Yeah, opts for a Remoraid. Now, a 1/1 Octillery is not typically something you actually see in Vikabulu, so that's a really interesting inclusion there. Puts down a Remoraid and 1 Grubbin. I mean, there's nothing to show you that he's even playing Bulu at this point.
Yeah, he's got having the Octillery can be very nice. It's not something that Nico's necessarily going to target down, especially with only 1 Grubbin. That's probably going to be the main focus. So you're probably going to be able to see a few more cards and get a pretty solid setup.
Now, does Nico just have no hand to work with at all? Or is he just sort of...
Well, he did play an end to open the game, but I'm not sure what he was able to find off that. He did just pass immediately afterwards. So could have Bridget and just be starting to turn slower than usual. And look at this. Even the Mew, he can use Encounter and go find any Pokemon, and that's probably going to find him Octillery. He's got Candy Vikavolt already.
I believe he has an Octillery in hand already.
Oh, then
so I don't know.
Get whatever you want.
yeah, just get any Pokemon so you don't draw into it.
Yeah.
And there's a Vikavolt, so maybe he didn't have one already.
Maybe he didn't. Who knows?
I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Nico can open with Rare Candy Gardevoir Zoroark. I mean, that's not always... That should be pretty easy to get in a list that has a 4/4 Zoroark, multiple Gardevoirs, and a few rare candies. So
yeah, it's definitely what his deck is focused on doing, getting everything out and going in pretty aggressively. We'll see what he's able to find.
But certainly, being able to target that Grubbin would be the best play right now. Get rid of that and make sure there's no strong charge no Vikavolt able to come out, so that it can't strong charge onto Pokemon and get Malik to start attacking. That Mew's not really doing too much with one lightning energy on it at the moment. What can it copy? Energy drive? Like, it's not really...
There is not much for that Mew to be doing right here. I looked over at Nico's hand. He does have Rare Candy Gallade. I don't know if that's what he wants to go for. I think Gardevoir is definitely his main choice. So when he uses this Tapu Lele, he's eyeing up that N. I think he might just use the N before getting out the Gallade. It's not what he wants right now. And as awkward as it is to pass up something like a stage 2 on turn 2, I think he's making the right play.
Yeah, definitely. I just realized that Mew can also copy Ion Pool, which is
There we go.
Remoraid's attack. So,
Yeah.
you know, get rid of that Parallel City and get some more Pokemon into play like that Bulu that you want. But doesn't matter. Sometimes it's weird niche plays that you see after the fact.
That's why we don't play the Wild River Remoraid or whatever it's called.
Yeah, this is the correct Remoraid, right? So we're going to see what the players get off this end here.
Yeah.
And it's such an interesting card. At the beginning of the game, it can really help you set up, and the late game can really disrupt your opponent. But I don't know. I tend to like to play it later game rather than early game. Get your Sycamores out early.
Well, Nico, looking at that hand, I don't see too much going on. Doesn't even find a Zoroark, so no trades available. Nothing to Rare Candy just yet. And I think he's just going to have to pass with this Zorua. This is going to be a big turn for Malik if he's able to get out the Vikavolt.
Yeah, Candy Vikavolt's definitely what he's looking for here. Possibly even a Field Blower to get rid of the Parallel City. Even if he does get a Vikavolt, though, he's also got to, if he's going to want to copy Tapu Bulu GX, he's going to have to attach a Grass Energy from hand, because you can only find with Strong Charge a Grass and a Lightning, not 2 of 1.
Right.
So he does have to find a few different pieces.
Yeah. This is always an interesting play. If you don't have the Rare Candy, do you go for the Tapu Lele and get the Skyla, or do you just get the Octillery and try to draw into the rest of it?
I mean, he's locked into by Parallel City, so he has to get the Octillery in this case.
Yeah.
But,
so Octillery's going to have to find it for him then.
So this 1/1 Octillery is actually putting in work, which is really good.
Yeah.
He runs quite a few draw options, actually. There is an Oranguru, an Octillery, which is not usual that you would see typically.
Yeah, generally you see players just decide on one or the other, and he's able to find room for a few of them, but we did see what cuts were made to make that happen. Doesn't have any Kukui, so no answer to a Gardevoir GX.
Yeah, some decks, some Vikabulus are still running Tapu Koko GX as well, just to be a big hitter to come in, and which would probably be good against a Gardevoir deck when they put down so many energy. With that Tapu Thunder GX, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, none of that. It's pretty... I'd say consistent list, given that he has so many draw options in this deck, and that's probably to try to get out of Vikavolt as quickly and easily as possible, but really hindered by this Parallel City in this game. Yeah,
we even see on his deck list, the one thing that he crossed out was to add for a third Field Blower, so you'd think he'd be able to find one, and he just hasn't been able to see it yet, but who needs it? You're going to find the Candy Vikavolt right there off the top, and that's exactly what you want off an end of 6.
Now, do you think he's going to apply pressure to that Zorua and Strong Charge 2 energy to the Tapu Lele, given that he doesn't really have another viable attacker? He could always Strong Charge to Mew as well, but, I mean...
Yeah, he could put them onto Mew, copy the Energy Drive, and doesn't have to worry about the resistance, and just get the 60 that way. And it could also retreat and just use the Lele if he wants to. It just depends on if he thinks that Mew is going to be important later, or maybe he can bait Nico into knocking this thing out so he can get a real Pokemon down like his Bulu.
Hey, Mew is a real Pokemon, all right?
He's trying,
Settle down. A good thing in these Vikabulu lists, really want to keep an eye on your Lightning Energy as well. Typically they run many more Grass Energy than Lightning Energy, and only a few. So Malik is running 4 Lightning Energy in this case, and you just want to know how many of those are accessible to you. Otherwise, you're just going to be strong charging for 1 energy, that Grass.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of players going with a 7-5 split in the United States, and going with the 7-4, but of course he has those energy recyclers and the Super Rod to be able to get the most use out of those lightning energy when he needs to. And I think he's having the same debate that we were. I guess he's just going to go in with this Lele, and this could walk into Candy Gardevoir DCE. That could be pretty bad.
I mean, on the flip side, the Mew could be knocked out by pretty much anything. He could just attach to a Lele. Nico could attach to a Lele and just knock out the Mew, and then you lose a lot of energy in play, whereas Tapu Lele has a little bit more stamina, I guess. and it needs a few more pieces to be able to knock it out. So it could hang in there a little longer and start picking off a few of those basic Pokemon that only have 60 HP. This could be Malik's plan here. This is certainly not how Vika Bulu is typically running. You usually see a Bulu by now.
Yeah, that Parallel City has definitely made a big impact, and Nico just cannot draw what he wants. Gonna have to use a Sycamore. Threw away the entire hand. Nothing was playable. And still does not find a Zoroark or a Rare Candy Gardevoir. He's going to just have to match one Lele with another, awkwardly attacking in for 100.
Are these X-Ball Mewtwo's, or are we back in?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
No, we're going to have to see. Fortunately, they don't hit each other for weakness, so we're not going to see absurd 200 damage attacks now. But
right.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Lele attacking into things today. It seems like a really good backup attacker that everyone has in their deck, because you're going to be playing Lele as a support Pokemon pretty much always.
Right. A lot of high-level play from these players identifying when it's the right time to switch up your strategy and use your support as attack.
And Malik's probably looking for a field blower here to just finally get rid of that Parallel City from play. He does run 3, so surely there is one in deck that he's able to use. But instead, he's just putting more energy onto this Lele. More power into this Lele with his Choice Band.
And I don't know if he wants to end. He just saw his opponent play a puzzle at a time and put something on the top of his deck. Maybe it was a good card for him. Well, we know it's the Ultra Ball, but Malik doesn't have that information.
Yeah, it's all these mind games that you play. Like, Pokemon seems like such a simple game, right? But there are so many little choices that you have to make, and you have to read your opponent and figure out, what are they going to do? They could have been 3 cards that were absolutely useless.
Yeah.
But you got to play to win, not to, not lose.
Yes, there you go.
You got to win more.
And I think this win more play for Malik is going to be load up my Lele. I don't care how much damage it has on it. I'm going to knock you out, and eventually you're going to give me a bench space, and it's going to be pretty sweet.
And so that will be enough, I believe.
Yeah, he did it a little weird. I didn't know if he was going to get that extra energy down to hit the perfect 170. But it still works out just fine, and he's going to play that end. So
it does mean that a Candy Gardevoir pretty much just walks into a Lele knockout.
That's right.
But if that Lele can keep going, can put in quite a bit of work, especially if that Ralts can be targeted next turn.
You have to think that Nico's going to be able to find a Zoroark. It's been so many turns and just nothing, so that would be big for him. If he was just able to get something going, knock out this Tapu Lele, which is... I mean, it's done way more than it's needed to. He is pulling his weight for sure.
I don't think we've even seen a Tapu Bulu from
right?
at all. Like,
what deck is this?
Yeah, he hasn't even had one in his hand, so it's now on cue. I'm sure he'll draw one, but we'll have to see. There's a field blower though, which is pretty crucial. I don't know that he'd look to play it this turn. You'd probably want to keep it in hand in case Nico does play another tool this turn.
Yeah.
Don't really need to get rid of the Parallel City right away, although he does choose to play it. Maybe just get rid of the Parallel City and just say, get this thing away.
Yeah, I've got 3 of these field blowers. I've got Octillery, so maybe I'll just find another one for the tools later.
Oh, I did just pick one up from the Abyssal hand.
That's right.
They're all clustered together.
Worked out very well for him. He's going to be able to get this big knockout here, and Nico, once again, has got to find something. He's got Ultra Ball at least, so...
I say Ultra Ball and Rare Candy, but that could get you a Gardevoir, and that will be enough with Infinite Force to knock out that Tapu Lele a few times over, I think.
Yeah, that would work out well for him. I'm wondering what that last card in his hand is. If it's an N, that'd be very well. I think it's a Guzma, though.
Oh, he top
But that's a great card to draw there. Able to get some sort of draw engine going here is going to be great for him. Even has Mallow if he wants to pair that up. And he could potentially get a few Gardevoir out, even if he wants to go Gardevoir, Zoroark, and a lot of different options here for sure.
And something he has to think about as well is what card he's going to trade. A lot of these Zoroark players have to think, what card is not useful in this matchup. Sometimes it's very obvious. Sometimes it's quite difficult to choose, which card is going to give me that slight edge over the other card in terms of keeping it. And I think I see an Enhanced Hammer in his hand, and I think that's the card you're going to throw away pretty quickly with trade.
That would be a bad one in this matchup, for sure.
For sure. But what does he get with this Mallow? Does he want to get multiple Gardevoirs out?
I love that when I see him grab, he doesn't just go immediately grabbing the Zoroark. He grabs the Evo Soda because he knows that card is going to be completely useless for him in the coming turns. So when he trades in, grabs this Evo Soda, he can play it for the Zoroark that he was going to get anyways, And now he just doesn't have that card in there. So beautiful play there by Nico, playing to all of his outs, even though he's had a pretty rough start. It looks like he's making a pretty nice swing turn here.
Yeah, very clever. It means that he won't trade into the Evo Soda, for example. It means those trades would be that just a little bit more effective.
Yeah.
Also means he's not going to be end into the Evo Soda.
Yeah, don't want to see that. It's like seeing all those Bridgets later.
So even with just one energy, Gardevoir is going to put in enough work to knock out this Tapu Lele. And you've got to think, now a bench spot with the Parallel City gone, lots of bench spots are open, but now is the turn that Malik can capitalize on this and actually put Pokemon down. Does he want to even go for the Tapu Bulu? Because even with a Choice Band, even with Nature's Judgment and the Energy Discard, he's not actually one-hit KOing this Gardevoir.
Right, and it's definitely an awkward spot that Malik's going to find himself in. To hitting Gardevoir, it doesn't work out very well for you. This deck plays Max Potion, so he can just remove that and knock you right back out. If you're going to be attacking with Mew, if you're using the Bulu, he can set up to do a 2-hit knockout right back on you. So it definitely gets a little shaky here.
Yeah, I think the game plan would just have to be to knock out the Zoroarks. Typically,
that's what I'm thinking as well.
The Pokemon that you can actually just hit. Vikavolt, if you have to, you can attack with that as well. But again, it still doesn't do enough. It's 150 with Electro Cannon, 180 with a Choice Band, not hitting that 230. So we're going to have to see here if he goes for the Tapu Bulu or if he tries for an Energy Drive. It's a very awkward spot.
Yeah, it's a big ask as well to get the Bulu Choice Band energy. He's also played a lot of energies as well, so does he have another Lightning energy? Does he need a Recycler to get a few more of these back into his deck? And we'll really just have to see.
I think when Vikavolt Bulu sets up well, has those great first turns, it's actually a really fantastic deck that works really in sync with itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But when it doesn't set up, it doesn't work at all, unfortunately. And you can really feel for Malik. He's kind of struggling here, just trying to piece something together, trying to get some damage down and some combinations that might work. And Nico, even though he had quite a slow start as well, still in a much better position now with 2 Zoroarks and a Gardevoir that can essentially hit for quite a lot of damage quite cheaply.
Yeah, and that's just the power of that Parallel City. That was the only thing that stopped Malik from having a big board and being able to set up a few of these Tapu Bulus, but we just haven't seen one now. He hasn't been able to play anything down.
Yeah, there certainly hasn't even been one in his hand that I don't think we've seen, so whether it exists or not is the next question.
That's right.
So it's just a deck that's playing with your mind here. So checking his discard pile, I believe. No? Searching his deck. Oh, Strong Charge, of course.
Yep.
He's just selecting a Grass Energy and a Lightning Energy, attaching it to one Pokemon. You've got to think at this stage, maybe it's the Lele again.
That seems to be his attacker of choice. He hasn't really had much of an option otherwise.
I mean, he did also get the Guzma with the Tapu Lele, so whether he's targeting the Ralts, maybe, to get a knockout on that and put himself down to 2 prizes, it means that he just has to knock out a Zoroark GX to take the game. Because he did take a lot of those prizes quite cheaply at the beginning of the game.
Right. This can also be pretty risky, though. If he uses Tapu Lele to do it, then he could just find himself being return knocked out, and that's 2 more prizes for Nico, and he hasn't had to work very hard for them. They've just been sitting there.
Yeah, so, essentially.
Probably going to be using the Mew and target down the Ralts. Just hasn't had the Bulu Choice Band to work out for him.
Doing the order of operations correctly here.
Yeah. Run away,
the
pop
Mew,
back in.
Yeah. So it means that he doesn't have to discard the energy off the Tapu Lele there.
Yeah.
He can still get the knockout on the Ralts. And yeah, only sending out that Mew, gives up 1 prize, doesn't give up those 2 prizes of the Tapu Lele. And that Malik actually goes down to 2 prizes in certainly not employing his best strategy.
Yeah, and taking that extra prize means that Malik is at 2 prize cards left, and he's just trying to look for 1 GX knockout. And you got to assume he's looking to get a big swing on the Zoroark GX for the win.
Yeah, 1 Tapu Bulu with a Choice Band, a Strong Charge, a Grass Energy. It sounds like a lot. It really isn't when you have a Vikavolt already in play and a Tapu Lele with an energy to retreat with.
Can definitely make it happen. We're going to see Nico playing to his outs here. He's using this Ultra Ball. Probably needs to take some cards out of Malik's hands. He's got so much, but we also see the Octillery, so a little bit of give and take there.
You'd think that the optimal strategy now would actually be to take out the Vikavolt, but unfortunately there's nothing that Nico has in play right now that can actually achieve that 150 on a non-GX Pokemon, non-GX, non-EX.
removing that Ralts meant that there's no Candy Gallade DC, and that's the only real way I could see that Vikavolt falling.
Yeah, definitely. So now we know that Malik will be able to get off a strong charge next turn, so it's just that threat of that Tapu Bulu coming to play with 3 energy straight away. We can also see a Choice Band in his hand, so Nico recognizing, I'll put down a couple more Ralts, I'll put down another Zorua, just to get myself set up so I can win more next turn, if you don't win this turn.
Yeah. Malik, he looks at his hand, he sees Skyla, and that means he could get a Bulu down, but you also can't use Guzma in the same turn, so a little bit awkward for him. It looks like he's just going to try to thin out a little more and find an answer. And yeah, right now, nothing is really going to beat this Gardevoir.
Yeah, and this is where that Octillery and Oranguru kind of come into play. He can thin his hand down. He can look at so many cards this turn, but it looks like he's committing to the Tapu Lele. Going to put potentially 90 damage onto that Gardevoir, and this really opens up the door for Nico now. If he can evolve it to a Gallade and get that Vikavolt active, could really put Malik much further behind.
Yeah, and we haven't seen a Grubbin. We haven't seen anything really to think that Malik would be able to get anything set up, and he just drew a lot of cards that don't do anything. I still haven't seen a Bulu.
A lot of cards that aren't Bulu.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we didn't see 4 in the prize cam, right?
Right. He even saved his strong charge, hoping that he'd be able to find a Bulu and then get the energies down. Instead, he drew into all the energies. He wanted to strong charge, so awkwardly going to strong charge now, and where do you put him?
Yeah, for sure. If he attaches them to the active Tapu Lele, it's likely going to be knocked out. And that Gardevoir, any damage you put onto it can just be max potioned off.
Yeah.
It does exist in this deck. So we're going to have to see. And even if it is in the discard pile, this deck does run 4 Puzzle of Time to get back that max potion.
Yeah, I almost think the correct play is to just put him on Oranguru and just have something that can retreat later. You could set that up, but no, he's going to focus on the Vikavolt as a potential way to knock out this Gardevoir if Max Potion doesn't come down.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be softened up. 90 damage through that Tapu Lele, and then 150 from Electro Cannon is enough to seal those last 2 prizes. I have to credit Malik with being able to think outside the box a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of players kind of only know how to use their deck and the strategy that that deck employs. They don't really know what to do when the deck fails to work how they expect it to. But he's really, must know his deck well and knows what he can do and where to put the damage, really.
Yeah, he's been definitely piloting this awkwardly, but it hasn't really been his fault. He's just done everything that his deck's allowed him to do so far, and the fact that he has been dominant and already taken 4 prizes with none of his main attacker is pretty extraordinary.
So there's the Gallade, and he's digging with Nico is now digging with trade. He's got the DCE.
Yeah, and he said, "All right, where's
you can get
Guzma?"
the Guzma. Premonition.
This time I'm going to Premonition. I'm going to make sure I get it. And I believe...
Don't see it.
Yeah, he would have to have another...
I think there was an Ultra Ball, though. No?
Yeah, he chose not to get it. I don't know if that's a nod to just not having another Tapu Lele to go find the Guzma.
He gets rid of the Choice Band with the Field Blower. Either just to get rid of Field Blower, or he's not going to take the knockout on Tapu Lele and just doesn't want it to have the Field Blower in the future.
Yeah, what a wild draw. He's
got
the Guzma already, so that's pretty fantastic for him. Double whammy here, having the energies on the Vikavolt. When it gets knocked out, you're losing those energies too, and that's a big swing there for Nico, able to put himself in a pretty great position, just needing 2 more prize cards.
Yeah, it pretty much guarantees that we're not going to see a Bulu this game as well. I mean, if he's going to put it down, he's not going to be able to power it up to do Nature's Judgment or a Tapu Wilderness GX.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Lele against the world, I think. Lele and friends.
I think the world's going to win.
I think this was the picture of all the support Pokemon, right? That
right, yeah.
Before?
This is our slide.
Yeah.
You just see how it works.
Showing it all off. Oranguru, yes, it is only a support Pokemon. Rarely do you attack with it, but its attack is not actually that bad when you're against a deck that might have a lot of energy attached.
I've seen Psychic do some work before, so that's also another reason why having those energies there, it could have helped him out. I think he's kind of reliant on just getting as much energy as he can on this Lele, hoping that it doesn't get Guzma back up. You sacrifice the Oranguru, and maybe you can get enough energy to knock out the Gardevoir.
Yeah, I mean, is that what he's digging for here? He will need a Choice Band to be able to No, I don't think even a choice band will get him the knockout.
Yeah,
I think it will
he'd
just
have
be
to
shy.
wait for one more turn. He has the choice band Energy Guzma, so I think he just has to hope the Oranguru can take the hit. Maybe I'm not sure what his plan is now. He can just come up and hit a Zorak for 60 but
damage?
it's certainly a little bit awkward
I mean,
for
if
him.
it was a Zorua, this is another story, but
Yeah.
yeah, 90 damage
I mean, we're
there?
just the double colorless energy and a fairy or a choice band away from Nico being able to take the win here. He just needs to retreat and use his Gardevoir, knock out this Lele, and that'd be game.
But like we said before, he's doing everything he can with the resources that his deck has given him.
Yes.
It seems like all 4 Bulu might be solidly at the bottom of the deck. Just not going to be seeing this game. So hopefully in the game 2, we'll see a bit more of a typical Vika Bulu setup, and you can see how, everyone out there can see how the deck is supposed to run. That turn 2 Vika Vault that they typically always have. No matter if you end them or not, they're always like, oh, I had the Candy Vika Vault.
and Nico has 3 cards left in his deck, and he's just like, where are these? Because he just wants the Fairy Energy or the Floatstone, able to find that there, and that's going to be game 1.
And I'm assuming this time, Malik will go first. Hopefully get a Bridget that won't be under
Parallel
City lock.
Yeah, that did not work out very well for him, and I mean, that was a true testament to Nico's deck, honestly. He did not have anything going for him. He drew so poorly, and he was just able to play every one of those percentages correctly. Also got a little lucky that his opponent didn't have its main attacker, but he did everything he needed to do, and he was able to find the win with just 1 card left in his deck.
I mean, forgetting how powerful Parallel City was in that first game, disrupting Malik at the beginning of his turn. Just in general, I've seen a lot of players at this tournament, just including that Parallel City, bringing it back. It was a very big card initially, was in that Gardevoir Sylveon deck especially. There's a lot of discussion about, 2 Parallel City or 1.
Yep.
And a lot of people were just playing it, but why do you think it's come back? And a lot of people are including at least 1 in their deck now. Yeah,
we've seen a lot of people trying to work around these decks that focus on their big bench. We've seen Volcanion be popular, and the Vikavolt Bulus, they like to get a pretty big bench as well. So limiting their bench can be nice. I've seen players flip the Parallel City and limit the amount of damage that the Bulu can do. If you can limit them to only doing 190 with a choice band, your Zoroark can survive. So we've seen that be very effective. And then Dangerous Rogue, you just want to block that out. If you can limit your bench by turning it on yourself, or maybe you can stop them from getting a few Rockruffs out. They have to make awkward decisions. Parallel can do that for you.
Yeah, definitely. When everyone's turn 1 Bridgeting, if you can combat that with the turn 1 Parallel, I mean, what are they going to do?
Right. Well, only 1 Bulu in the prize card, so hopefully we can see 1.
Yeah, for sure. So prize card's not looking too bad. Nice to start in the opening hand with a Mew and a Grubbin already. It means that you can bridge it for a couple of different cards or get everything that you need rather than have to make decisions between certain cards. This way he can certainly get down with a Bridget, assuming he has one, 2 Grubbins, Tapu Bulu, Mew.
I think he drew the most awkward card in his deck. He found the Vikavolt. He has Rare Candy in hand, but he was planning on using N. And can he really N away Rare Candy Vikavolt on the second turn, or does he just pass here?
I feel like it's really important to get an energy down as well, maybe.
Right?
Oh, it does pass. Okay.
He's just going to pass. And, I mean, Nico doesn't know what to do about this. This is very much like when Greninja passes on the first turn. Do they have the Frogadier, or are they just bluffing? You never know.
They always have the Frogadier. That's what you have to learn.
Every single time.
Every single time. But there's nothing in his deck that he can actually use to just knock out that Grubbin either, which is what you want to do, but
oh my
also an awkward
goodness.
start. What is this Giratina promo in the active pass? This is your Duskull pass?
Yes, it is, and what a terrible hand for Nico, and I think that Malik probably has a read on this. I don't expect him to use his N. He might just play a nice slow game, use his Mew and encounter. He can go find the Bulu and then start charging it up in the following turns.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't even need to strong charge this turn. You don't want to put more energy on that Mew than you have to at this point.
I really don't want to see him use N here. Of course, we have a little more information than he does, but I feel like he might be. The strong charge, if he did that onto the Mew this turn and then saved his grass energy, that would mean that he'd have an energy card to attach to the Bulu straight from hand and then use his strong charge to immediately start getting that knockout potential with his Tapu Bulu. So little bit of a nod there.
On the flip side, if he does attach the energies to the Mew this turn, it means that he can attach the next turn if Nico doesn't draw out of it, and he can just start using Electro Cannon if he has to, and just, taking prizes with Mew. If Nico never finds another basic Pokemon, then he could actually just win the game that way.
Yeah, I think the Mew copy is just basics.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, hopefully he can find some good attack in his deck, and yeah, he does have to play that N, and it's so awkward. But Nico is thanking his lucky stars. So it's all right. We got some game going on.
I mean, you can't just play the game where you're waiting for you or your opponent to draw out of it, right? You've got to play like you're...
I wanted to, but I had way too much information sitting over here in the caster desk.
But we're going to see here. If he can get a Bulu off, for example, now, if he just draws into a Bulu, he's in a pretty good position. It was smart of Nico to protect that Zoroark and put it to the bench, certainly because there was such a threat of it being knocked out simply by, Malik putting down even a Lele, not even a Bulu. He just had to put down a Lele, and that Mew with 3 energy could knock out a Zoroark.
Yeah, well, there he is. He's making his camera debut for this international. It's Tapu Bulu GX, and that's definitely going to give Mew a bunch of great attack options.
Yeah, definitely. So can now do that Nature's Judgment. Do believe it would have to discard to be able to knock out the Giratina, though? Is it one of those Pokemon that's on that awkward 130 HP?
Yeah, you don't want to use your GX attack just yet. That'd be pretty weird.
Certainly not.
So probably just going to lose these energies and say, yeah, you probably have Zoroark DC anyways, so Mew wasn't long for this world.
You certainly have enough options to get those energies back as well. He's running 2 Energy Recycler and a Super Rod. So those 3 that you lose, you can put them back in pretty easily and keep going.
Yeah, love to see this Remoraid come down. This means that Malik, although he's taking some early prize cards, he's got potential to be saved from an N. He could get that artillery out, and this could really start to accelerate finding cards like Guzma and Choice Band. I think that's really going to be the key to him winning this matchup, is removing Zoroarks as fast as possible with his Tapu Bulu GX. Yeah,
we talk about trade, we talk about Wonder Tag as being the ultimate support abilities, but we've seen artillery in pretty much almost every matchup that we've been on stream today.
It's done a lot of work today.
Such a great card as well. So we're going to see a Nature's Judgment with discard to do a little bit of extra damage than it needs to against that Giratina. And just as predicted, there is the Zoroark GX, but not the DCE.
Yep, Nico also gets to find that Parallel City and just going to Sycamore, try to find a couple more. He needs one more bench Pokemon. How awkward would that be if he wasn't able to take out the Mew?
Well, there's a Ralt, so
so that works out well for him. I should also add, he doesn't have the energy, so...
Yeah, missed the DCE.
Yeah, they're going to have to look for it here.
Finds a lot of Ralts. Not terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, misses the energy. Does he play an energy this turn anyway onto a Ralt on the bench?
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I think that we know Malik's going to be targeting down Zoruas and Zoroarks because he doesn't beat the Guardies. So might as well just get these energies down now.
In fact, this turn he's probably looking to just straight up knock out that Zoroark. It just needs a Choice Band.
Yeah, not very far away. Mew with that free retreat helps out a lot.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't think he's sitting on a bit of an awkward hand, I think. I see 1 Grass Energy and a Tapu Lele. So there is enough energy accessible to him with that strong charge to be able to achieve that Nature's Judgment. Whether he can get the Choice Band as well, though, to clean up that 210, we'll have to see.
Yeah, definitely one key to that would be if he could find Octillery. That'd be very helpful in getting there.
We've seen N in his hand. I guess there are a few order of operations that you have to think of in Vikabulu as well. Before you play draw supporters or Abyssal Hand or whatnot, you strong charge first, just because you don't want to draw into them. He's looking there for some lightning energy. Oh, yeah.
Yep, was able to find that there, so he's going to get his energies down. The Bulu is just 1 Choice Band away now, and he's got an end, so he can start to search now and see if he can get there.
Yep, there comes down the end, and Nico's probably thinking, that's not too bad. I didn't really have much.
Right.
A Rare Candy and a Gardevoir would be nice off this, or some energy. Another Zoroark GX, perhaps.
Yeah, and Nico, he really did. He said, hey, Malik, I don't think you have it, because he left his Zoroark with the Floatstone active. He just thinks that if he's got the Choice Bands, maybe he can just scoop and try to play a nice game 3.
Yeah,
because I think if this Zoroark falls, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, definitely. Credit to Tapu Bulu, its attack actually discards the energy, and that's really not something Gardevoir likes to see. It doesn't want to have to attach, 6 6 energy to be, or 5 in a choice band to
That's
be able
a lot.
to hit you.
And
to
look
knock
at
you
that.
out.
The very first card is that choice band. So 210 damage is going to be the perfect amount here to knock out this Zoroark.
Yeah, recognizes it immediately, touches it. And there's not really anything, an immediate threat that, from Nico's side, as you were pointing out there, nothing that's going to return the KO necessarily straight away.
Oh, actually, looking at his hand, he's got Candy Gallade. If he could get a Guzma and knock out this Vikavolt, that would be such a big swing.
That would be very
energies
big.
in play, no grubbin. So I think we're going to see him try to get that. He's got the Mallow, but I mean, he's just a Tapu Lele, Ultra Ball, Guzma top deck. Zoroark could find it. So there's a lot of cards that could get him there, and he's going to play to his outs by playing. Did he get double puzzle? He has Zoroark
But what's
in there.
Zoroark GX?
He's got the Zoroark, so that's potentially 2 more cards that he can look at this turn.
Yeah, I mean, he has the Mallow as well, so he can choose what 2 cards they are.
Yeah, if he plays the Mallow, though, he doesn't get to use the Guzma.
Ah, true, to knock out the Vikavolt.
Yeah, so he's probably, you just play to your outs. You're going to get that Zoroark and just hope to find the Ultra Ball, the Lele. There's so many different cards that could get you to the same result of that Guzma.
So we're going to have to see here. Obviously, you grab the Zoroark GX, but what else do you grab with the double puzzle? You do get to take 2 cards.
Yeah,
Probably.
I'm not sure. His hand isn't too great afterwards, so it depends if he's going to focus on resources, maybe get another Zorua down. He's eyeing up the other puzzle, so that means that the second puzzle is a live top deck for him now. Well, the 4th puzzle, I guess.
He does opt to go for the Mallow, so we're not going to see the Guzma play. Possibly too risky for him, I think, maybe. He's thinking, like, I can't quite do it. He would need a few resources to be able to get there to hit that 150 as well, so... an extra energy, Candy Gallade.
Oh, and look, he would have got it, too. He had the Ultra Ball on the top.
No, you never look at the top 2 cards.
He would have done it.
You never look at the top 2 cards on your Mallowing.
Just saying. It was there. I don't know about this. This is a pretty safe play when you had potential to basically take Malik out of the game. I feel like if you remove that Vikavolt, you can then just start to target down any Grubbin that he benches. If Parallel City sticks, like it seemed to stick fairly often, I feel like you just dominate this game. But maybe Nico thinks differently, and he's going to be able to set up a really nice board and thinks that that's going to be enough. I mean, Gardevoir does have a ton of HP, and you can avoid getting knocked out. There's no Kukui.
Yeah, definitely. When you don't see 2 Grubbin in play, or a Grubbin and a Vikavolt, it's a pretty safe option to be able to sort of hamstring Tapu Bulu GX by just clearing out that Vikavolt. But I guess when you're a game ahead, and you're the kind of deck that has a lot of durability, I guess, in the form of Gardevoir GX that can't be one-shot when there's no Kukui around,
right,
you can kind of afford to play it a little bit safer. As long as he doesn't bench too many GX Pokemon that just can be one-hit KO'd by that Tapu Bulu GX, you're in a little bit of a safer position, perhaps.
Yeah, I'd feel pretty safe right now with this board he was able to come up with. You also get to avoid the risk of just what happens if you miss?
Yeah,
and then you Mallow, and then you don't get to draw any of those cards. It would have been a disaster. So being safe here. Big 30 damage. It could be pretty impactful. If
for sure.
We could see Sensitive Blade Choice Band stuff happen later. Maybe he uses his... Well, you never really use your GX attack. You don't want to keep the energies on board.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, isn't it? You heal yourself, but then you're just giving your opponent 90 extra damage to put on you. Yeah. It's a bit of an odd one. I wonder what he gets back here with the Skylar.
Yeah, I thought he would be interested in that Octillery, but he also really needs to get more stuff going, and that Parallel City has haunted his dreams for too long.
Field Blower takes out that Parallel City, and he can put a few more things down. I'm sure he'll actually be looking to put down a Grubbin, to be honest.
Yes.
Recognizing that, hey, Gallade is a card that Gardevoir plays.
Oh, I almost lost the game if you had a Guzma last turn.
Better just rectify that the turn after. It's fine.
I'm going to protect myself.
There
you are.
The
Welcome.
But now he's also got to find a Grass Energy to attach from hand. I do see an energy recycler, though, so hopefully he's able to use that to some effect. Get some energies back. But
perfect time to play that. Looks like he's got
in hand,
one of each. Never really want to see that lightning energy in your hand. It's a bit awkward.
But again, not a one-hit knockout on this Gardevoir. It does survive by 20 health.
Do you think he just uses Horn Attack here and puts some energy somewhere else? It really does the same thing. Regardless, you warn a max potion coming down, and you're going to set up for Nature's Judgment to be a knockout in the future.
I don't see that Gardevoir getting, 5 energy on it next turn?
Yeah, that's a lot to ask.
I mean, there is the 30 softening it up already. It is possible.
I think he might use Horn Attack with his Mew. It would be the same thing. Just get 30 damage down now, and you can do 210 later.
Yeah, for sure. And it also keeps that choice band in play and doesn't give up 2 prizes.
Right.
So it's a pretty good option. He'll probably also look to get the Octillery this turn, just to get it out there and be able to draw more cards when he needs to. Thin out his deck a bit, drawing the cards he doesn't necessarily need now.
A bit curious that he used the Strong Charge before the Recycler. That may have impacted why he didn't get a Lightning Energy down on this turn.
Yeah, something you have to be aware of, I guess. Where your Lightning Energy are and where your Grass Energy are in your deck. And yeah, a bit of an odd choice there. He also opts to leave the Tapu Bulu in the active spot.
Yeah, I don't know if he had a way to get out of the active there.
Yeah, I think that was the issue. Obviously, he can't play. It doesn't play Floatstones. He only plays one switch, and
I think that's in the prize card still.
Guzma, yeah, Guzma you only want to be playing when it's an impactful decision, really. But
and wow, yeah, that is
turn too late,
so big.
Unfortunately. He may be able to still get a Vikavolt in play just because he put that Grubbin down, but yeah, clearing that Vikavolt off the field means that he does have to get that Vikavolt in play.
Yeah, and Mew, because it wasn't able to get another energy, well, sometimes you just have it, and that's pretty great. This means that Mew will be able to find enough energies to remove this Gallade from play. I mean, if Malik has the Guzma, he wins the game. But I don't think we see that just yet.
Yeah, essentially.
That would be pretty nice to have Candy Vikavolt Guzma.
I think I see a Skylar in his hand. He's using the Energy Recycler now.
Yep.
I think I see a Skylar in his hand, which could... I mean... Does he have enough cards left to be able to get an Ultra Ball for an Octillery? I'm not sure.
That would be pretty great for him. I'm not sure if that's...
I think he has one too few cards.
Just counting these Guzmas. I've seen 2. Gonna get the Strong Charge down as well.
Yeah, softened up that Gardevoir nicely. It's certainly enough now that it doesn't actually need even the Choice Band.
Right.
So even if Nico comes down with a Field Blower...
Yeah, he's definitely in a great spot now.
In a position to knock out that Gardevoir, but could still swing. He's got to get that energy onto the Tapu Bulu, the Mew this turn.
And he has the Skyla in his hand. I don't know if he's choosing just not to play it. That could potentially find him a different supporter, which could win him the game in the following turn. But it looks like he's just going to play slow, take out this Gallade. Maybe he's assuming he's going to get End, and he'd rather have a Skyla than no card at all.
Yeah, for sure. So what does Nico lead with now? I mean, you're hitting a Mew, which unfortunately is hitting you for 180, but
yeah.
You're only going to get 1 prize off it.
Well, if you bring up the Gardevoir, Max Potion would be your best call if you're able to get the Max Potion and the Fairy. If you bring up the Zoroark, then you're really hoping to find double colorless and a Field Blower. And it's a lot to ask for, and he just hasn't been able to put together the draws, but this Ultra Ball might be able to help him out here.
Yeah, if he has a Tapu Lele left to be able to get a supporter, probably opting for the Sycamore there.
Yeah, maybe the N. I know Malik's sitting on a few cards, and he didn't do much, but that might mean that he could have found those cards in the prizes.
Doesn't look like there's a Sycamore left. He needs to get the Lele first.
Oh, that's true. This deck does only play like 2 Sycamores, I believe, if he's playing that standard list that we've been seeing. So yeah, he even if he did want to go for it, N is going to be the choice now.
Yeah, so he ends Malik down to 2 cards, and that is fairly impactful, I guess. I mean, with Strong Charge, you just get the energy out of your deck anyway, so
yeah,
it's a bit difficult that way. But Nico himself probably looking for that Max Potion. Max Potion energy would be all right for him here.
That would be fantastic. And
I
think we see Max Potion. No energy though.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Lays the Zoroark down. He's already used trade.
And he said, I'm done.
Game. So there are only 6.5 minutes left for a game 3.
Yeah.
Who do you favor in terms of which deck can apply the most pressure the most quickly?
I mean, I've seen this Zoroark Gardevoir deck go off pretty quickly, but if you give it to what the decks are built for, you have to favor the Tapu Bulu. Vikavolt. It's such a fast deck. Turn 2 180 is what it's known for. It's the reason why a lot of players don't like the deck, because they've had that happen to them so often. So I'm sure that Malik's going to be looking for one of those. He just hasn't had it yet. He's had a bunch of kind of goofy starts, and this one was able to work out in his favor. I'm sure he's trying to get that going.
Sure, it worked fine the last 7 rounds, though.
Yeah,
it's only when you're on stream.
It got him here, and then the curse happens. And you draw hands like Jordan did in the last round.
And as Naomi put it, she was lucky or grateful that she'd won.
That's right.
But yeah, turn 1 here, we're just going to see, I think, more of the same from Nico. Maybe a little bit more proactive bridgeting to be able to get down more Pokemon, and hopefully the evolutions a little bit more quickly than we've been seeing.
Yeah, so far, Nico's opening turns, he had a turn 1 N and a turn 1 pass.
Yeah.
Those have not been very good.
Certainly not what you want to see, probably in any deck.
Yeah. Now on Malik's side, he's starting the Bulu, got Bridget in hand. See a bunch of other supporters too.
I think he's eyeing up the Mew.
He's got the Mew also. This is the 3rd time he's started that Mew. He only plays 1.
That single Mew.
That is working out very well for him.
Yeah, he's putting in a lot of work. We'll have to see what Nico gets here. They are running down the clock a little bit. We're only at 5 minutes, which typically isn't enough to play an entire game. I mean, we played 2 games in about 45, so hopefully
Oh, that is a bad hand.
I mean, just as much as you want to win quickly, you can
Oh
lose
my
quickly.
gosh. That's all his Pokemon. Even if he gets a Bridget, what does he do?
I think he has 2 Zoroarks left.
Oh my, did he shuffle well enough? What is this?
2 Zoroarks? No, that's
oh,
enough.
he top decks the Bridget.
There's enough.
But he's gonna find out he's got nothing there. he's got some Zorua. I mean, he can get the rest, but there's nothing else after these Pokemon.
Yeah, his Bridget will get him all of his Pokemon.
That is everything.
So, I mean, that's not terrible. He's got options.
I mean, if you're playing a fast game, you don't want all of those extra basics.
If he can keep them alive, that's fine. But for his part, I mean, Malik looks like he has the turn he's been looking for, which is a Bridget.
Yeah,
for
and
1.
His hand looked terrible, but that top deck Bridget means that the Zoroark can get him trades, and we could see him have the turn 2 explosive start. Just that one card really able to turn the tides here.
Interesting to attach to the active relics, actually. Does mean that a Tapu Lele with a couple of energy can knock it out, but he's probably aware this deck doesn't run DCE. It's not going to be attacking me anytime soon, but typically not what you would see from players.
Right.
Because most decks are running DCE.
Just a good call, knows the matchup, and knows he can throw down that energy, and he's probably safe.
I think this is the first time we'll see 2 Grubbins on turn 1 from Malik, which is a nice change.
No parallel city stopping him.
The
world is his oyster. He can do whatever he wants.
Now, does he grab a 3rd Pokemon, and will it be the Remoraid if he has it, or the Oranguru?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go with the Oranguru, and he can... I mean, if you're going to win a fast game, you're probably playing every card in your hand each turn and just going very quickly, so...
And this is the setup he's wanted. This is what Vikabulu really looks to do every single game, every single match. This is its strategy. Hopefully, it can hit for turn 2 180 with the Mew or with the Bulu.
I've heard the deck can do that. It just doesn't happen on stream, I guess.
It's the new Greninja.
Yeah.
No, we'll have to see what Nico's going to put out next turn. See if he can get all the Pokemon that he needs. Like, he's been missing that turn 2 Gardevoir, even that turn 2 Zoroark sometimes.
Yeah.
And if he can get that, then we'll see if he can start some momentum in his favor.
Yep. I mean, Malik is holding on to that rare candy Vikavolt. He's got everything he wants, and Nico also got everything he wants. He's got the Evo Soda, so double Zoroark is probably going to be able to find him some pretty great cards. The N also, don't know if that's just a hand read or knows that he's going to need 6 cards in these trades to find a Gardevoir, or maybe just a double colorless to get some knockouts.
Yeah, he could apply a lot of pressure this turn. Put a couple more energy down around the field. I mean, Gardevoir doesn't mind if it has a lot of energy attached. That's even better for it. Like, Bulu can't exploit that. It's not that kind of card. So, yeah, putting a few more energy down, seeing a lot of your deck with those trades, getting rid of enhanced hammers that you don't need with those trades.
Those Bridgets, all those pesky little cards.
Yeah, the cards you love to see turn 1, and then, after turn 1, you're like, why did I run 4?
Yeah.
But we'll see these 6 cards now.
Rare Candy. Rare Candy Gallade? I mean, that's pretty good.
I think you'd prefer to see Gardevoirs, but we're going to see some trades.
Oh, maybe just get the Ultra Balls.
Yeah, that's fine.
That works out pretty well. But yeah, it looks like he's gonna go ahead and get this Gallade. I think this means we're probably gonna see a Float Stone and a double colorless energy, and he can start to put on the pressure with Zoroark. He could even use Gallade if he wants to, but just depends if he values the trade or the Premonition a little more.
Yeah, I mean, Premonition synergizes so well with trade. You get to look at your 5 cards and essentially just choose 2 that you want, and put them on top, and then take them next turn.
Yeah.
So it's just synergizes really well in this deck. I don't think anyone back in the day would have thought we'd be seeing Gardevoir, Gallade, and Zoroark all together, but I mean, it works well. We've seen Miltank Gardevoir, so.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen now.
Don't know if he's going to be getting a knockout this turn, unless he's opting to pay the retreat cost rather than attach the Float Stone.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to change his mind. You're going to need every energy possible if you're going to win a game where you have 28 seconds left. So I don't mind this at all, but he's just playing a little too slow. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull out a victory here.
Not all of us have Tord skills.
He can throw cards, I'll tell you what.
So it looks like we probably will be heading into time on Malik's turn, and I don't know that he can take 6 prizes off 2 turns. Likewise Nico, so I believe that's probably
fairly impossible. Yeah.
The 100th tie we've seen on stream today, maybe?
Yeah, we're trying to set records here in Australia.
So we're just going to have to get confirmation of whether that is now time. So Malik is turn 0. They'll have a couple of turns each. Interesting to see if they just extend the hand and recognize, this is going to go to a tie. There's no way that one of us can win.
Yep. Or, I mean, you only get 50 minutes on stream, so
milk it for all it's worth. Right?
Show the players what you got.
So we'll have to see. I think he just wants to show us that he can turn 2
he's like,
180
check this out,
damage,
guys.
right? This is how this deck works.
I've done this once or twice. Well, looks like he can play a few of these cards out. Ultra Ball can get him a playable card. Field Blower can be used, and then Oranguru could help refill his hand. Just really wants to find a Grass Energy.
He's always missing just one piece of what he needs.
Right.
Gets the Lele. Showing off all the support Pokemon.
Yeah, check this one out. And probably just depends if he wants to grab Guzma. I think he's got his eye on. Well, I guess this really depends on how he's looking at the game. If he was going to be playing a full game, removing that Ralts would be pretty great. You don't have to worry about any Gardevoir. Could even just play safe, put these energies onto the Lele and knock out the Ralts.
I mean, with the energy still on there,
Heavy
it's
punish,
going to be hitting 60 damage.
Keeping that energy around means the Ralts is going to fall.
Yeah, so much deliberation, and then the wrong call in the end.
Yep, for the irrelevant extra prize.
It's for pride, right? Pride.
Yeah. And he's fighting for it for sure.
He's going to take the knockout on this Ralts. Oranguru's instruct for 2. Finds that sneaky Field Blower that he was looking for so much in game 1.
Just as the parallel cities have gone missing. Nico goes, I'll just promote. We'll see what can go on here. It's like, I don't know the point. And I think both players understand that, and we are going to see another tie. Both these players are now 5-0 and 3. That means they're both at 18 match points. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking that 19 would be a fairly good spot to be at.